Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another Bulletmarv review. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the show. Right, so today's game, I don't have a case to hold up in front or anything, because it's on PC, and this isn't a retro review either. It's a quick overlook at the new HD remaster of the Resident Evil remake on PC. So, let's just start by asking a question. What is the point in this HD remaster? And I'm going to go through the things that I like about it. I'm going to show gameplay for it. And I'm going to say what's wrong. I'm going to show what's wrong with it as well. Just to give you a quick overview of the game and whether it's worth getting. And also to start off the topic of are HD remakes important? I know that Total Biscuit has done a video on this quite recently, you know, bigger YouTube, massive YouTube, massive fan of his channel. He's actually asked, well, he hasn't asked this question, he's actually given his explanation on it. With the new, I think it's like Magic the Gathering 3 or something like that, which we're reviewing, and it's the HD remaster, but you get lots of the content cut out. But, this game, right, Resident Evil HD, let's just start. This is the first game which got remade on the GameCube, which looks gorgeous on there, with a HD texture pack more or less. So, since this is a PC game, let's start off with the options. Well, the settings and stuff that you can do. I like the idea that you can change the control scheme to classic and new mode. I like that. I like how we can change the aspect ratio to 14, I think it's like 14:6 to 4:3. You know, 16:4 and then 4:3. You know, going to widescreen or standard definition views. You can change the quality of it by upping the resolution, upping the textures and stuff like that, and anti-aliasing. I use FXAA on mine, and it runs fine. And I'm saying fine in a very weird way. Because after capturing footage, it shows me how many frames per second it's capturing. I know capture cards can bunk that down, or capturing programs can actually bunk that down. I'm using Action, which is a program used for capturing game footage on PC. So I use that, and it's quite lightweight. It's better. It's not as heavy duty on the CPU as Fraps. It's a much more tinier program, but it runs a lot better, and it runs nicely in the background as well. But this is the thing about Resident Evil HD Remake. The game itself looks gorgeous. Gorgeous to an extent. The character models, the zombie animations, the upscaled resolution, because I use it up to 1080. Up to a 1080p monitor. Well, I've got a full HD monitor, so I'm using a full 1080 monitor. I like to run it up to there. The only problem is when it's running, it does run at 30, even though I have set the minimum FPS to 60. So I don't know what's going on there, because you can only set your minimum FPS to either 30 or 60 or variable, and I don't like variable FPS. I want it to be locked at least 1, so it's smoother in that respect. But let's get on to the graphical look. So as I've already said, the characters look fantastic. Unfortunately, the backgrounds have suffered a little bit. They have increased the fidelity of the graphics for the pre-rendered backgrounds, but the problem is they do look very out of place, or your character looks very out of place in comparison still. The textures in the back aren't as good as the textures on the character, so there's a big difference there. And I do notice it does seem a bit blurry as well in the backgrounds. While your character looks sharp, the backgrounds do look very blurry, and you'll see that in the footage. I'm going to actually have the video small, and in the background you're going to have the footage from the actual game, so you'll get to see. So the game is going to take up most of the focus here. So, as for that, gameplay. The gameplay in the game is similar to what you would expect from a classic Resident Evil game. Tank-like controls, The only difference is now you can change it from a classic mode and into a new mode, so you can, like, you know, change which character you're aiming at, and also you can use the analog, and that'll use auto run, which personally I find that using the analog in that sort of game with fixed camera angles very cumbersome, very awkward. I hate it with a passion. So I end up using the D-pad on the 360 controller, which isn't the best D-pad in the world. It's probably one of the worst in my opinion to control it. And then hold down A, well, B to run, more or less. That's how I'm doing this. That's how I'm playing it. You can try using keyboard controls, no mouse controls obviously, but even they are useless. They are terrible. I could not find a good setting for them. So I'm not gonna knock too many points off for the controls, because you can't change controls in a game that uses fixed camera angles. If it was a third person, then fair enough, but this is a fixed camera angle game, so the controls do need to be tank-like. Otherwise, I don't think it would work. So, the overall, so I'll talk a bit about the story. Okay, so this is 1998, you're in Raccoon City, you're in the Arkham Mountains, you are STARS members, you are STARS member A, like STARS Group A, so the main group Alpha team. You're looking for your team Bravo team, who have gone missing after looking into the mysterious deaths that have been happening on the result of zombies. So, you choose from either Jill Valentine or Chris Redfield, and the nice thing about this HD remake, which I did like very, very much, is you get to choose your outfit, which seems pretty lame. I mean, you've only got 2 outfits to go from, so you can go with, like, classic Chris Redfield, or super steroidal Resident Evil 5 or Resident Evil 6 Chris Redfield. Or you can choose from classic Jill Valentine, or go to the BSA Jill Valentine from Resident Evil Revelations. That is a nice touch. I am actually using the Jill Valentine BSA outfit because I prefer it. She looks prettier in that. But, so you go into this mansion. I'm playing as Jill Valentine in the game. I always do. I prefer the way that her game works. I don't like the idea of having Rebecca Chambers following you around and being this annoying little character that follows you around and doesn't really serve any purpose other than to hinder and slow your progress. So, so you get into the mansion, you notice Chris Redfield is dead, you go looking, and then you're pretty much free to roam back. And the story is a naff story, and I'm grateful that they are using the GameCube voice acting, but it would have been nice to have an option to go to original voice acting as well, because some of the lines are much more funnier and have much more nostalgia for me in the older original versions on Saturn and PS1 than the remake versions which were on GameCube, Wii U, and now this and every other downloadable thing in the world. So I would like to see that change, but the sounding, the lighting, it just works in the game. I know I'm going back to graphics here now, kind of, and the atmosphere. The atmosphere is real good and really tense. And as a fan of the Resident Evil franchise and Resident Evil games, I like this game. I like it. I am biased. This is a biased opinion. I like this game. I think it is great, and this is where that ending, the end topic, the overall topic, the question we started off with, comes into it. Do I think this is worthwhile, or do I think this is an HD remake, and does it actually matter? For PC gamers, yes, it matters a lot. I'm a PC gamer. I use PC as my main computer. This is my main computer. This is my new computer. This is games that I'm going to be playing which are coming out on like the PS4, the Xbox One. This is my next gen system, my PC. In theory. My retro systems, on the other hand, they are my retro systems. I love them and I play on them a hell of a lot more than I do on my PC, but for modern games, I use this. But is it worthwhile having? while you can download Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut on the PlayStation Network and have that original kind of feel, this is what was needed. If you was a Nintendo lover and you had a Wii or a GameCube, you got to play these fantastic remakes of the remake of the Resident Evil, which was fantastic, but a lot of people got left out for this. But now, PlayStation guys, Xbox guys, PC guys can now get on this without using emulation. It is a good, worthwhile HD remake, and we need to see more of this. And it's a lazy port. It's a lazy HD remake, more or less. I do think it's very lazy, and I will not argue with anyone who says it isn't, because that's your opinion, but I personally believe that it is a very lazy port. It is a very lazy HD remake. It's just slap a texture on, release it, and I don't know why it took so long, really, for it to come out. So that really is drawing my video to a close, really. I love this game. I recommend getting this game. This is a game I like. I'm a fan of this game. If you are a fan of Resident Evil and you haven't got the chance, you never got the chance to play on the remake versions on the GameCube or the Wii, download this version. It's $14.99 on Steam. That price, it is worth it. It is worth every penny. You can end up paying that much just for the older game, so you might as well get this game. Get a good controller hooked up to your PC and play it. Or play it on your Xbox One or your PS4. Play this game, it is worthwhile, and it is what HD remakes are for. Getting games that aren't in the public domain anymore, which can't be digitally downloaded, bringing them to a platform where now it has been archived. It can now, a lot of people can play it and can enjoy it and can save this game. And this is Capcom doing something right, and this is a good way to get people amped up for Resident Evil Revelations 2, which is coming out very, very shortly, which I'm very much looking forward to playing. So that's the end of the video. I've been Bulletmarv, and if you've enjoyed this video, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. Leave a comment to let me know your feelings on the Resident Evil franchise, on HD remakes in general, and or even just on this game. And I've been, so I said, I'm Bulletmarv. Keep on gaming.